Hi, I'm going to create a short video tutorial to kind of get you through the startup for the online physical education course through Virtual SC. What I did was I opened a web browser using Chrome. I would recommend either Chrome or Internet Explorer. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but I would open that up, get to the Virtual SC website, which I think has a lot of really good information. So I just put that there in the search, and I'm going to open that up. To get to the course, you're going to click on Dashboard Login, and my information is already there because I've been in and out for some time, but you'll want to get your login and password. Now just keep in mind, I don't have that information. So if you don't know what your login and password is, you'll have to contact Virtual SC or your school guidance counselor or guidance department. I don't have any student information in that regard. So anyway, so we're going to go to, mine might look a little different. I clicked on go to LMS. You may go right into here. Keep in mind I have a teacher view, so it may look a little different. You should see something like this, my courses. Right now it's hidden, but it'll pop up for you. So of course these are from what I've taught previously. This is some teacher stuff, but of course this is the summer section, so you should just see something like this. So go ahead and click on that. And I've begun to set the course up, so it's pretty close to being ready to go once it opens up on June 5th, the morning of June 5th, around 7 a.m. it'll become available to students. So basically this is the sort of the landing page for the course. You might want to watch this video of me speaking to the students, introducing myself briefly there. First thing you need to do, I think, is be aware. I would start right here. Course introduction, resources, important information below. Click here first, and then you're going to open up. Just notice I'm scrolling down. So you've got some really important information here. This pacing guide contains all of the due dates for all of the assignments in the course. So be sure to click on that. You may want to print it out. It's a Word document. You can do that, or you can put it in your calendar. You can put reminders on your phone, save it to your computer, whatever you want to do. But essentially, this will tell you when every assignment is due. And I'll just tell you that every Friday, you will have at least one unit worth of assignments due between June 5th and the end of July. August 1st is the last day to submit work, and that's a Thursday, so that Friday before that, and then final exams will be after that. So but in any case, start with the pacing guide. You may want to click on here as well. I would suggest that there is some additional information. I'll show you that very briefly. Okay. This video is the same video as on the home screen, so if you watch the first one, that one's a copy. This is a letter that I wrote to students, just kind of laying out some details in narrative form, if that helps you to want to read something. This is a Virtual SC created their own tutorial, so you may want to view that one if you have additional questions. I just kind of walk through a few things here, so you may want to read that and familiarize yourself with the course in that way. So if you want to get back to the home screen from here, you can either click here or you can click here. And this, again, these are all of the different units. So let's go right back to the home screen. I want to show you where you'll actually begin doing the work. So I'm just kind of opening this back up. To go to the next unit, again, you can either do this. It's actually unit 0, so don't be confused. That's where you will start. So you can either click here or here. And this little navigation side here, I'll just use this one this time. So you'll start in unit 0. And notice I put here, start course here. This unit is due June 7th. It's fairly short. Since the course started on June 5th, these first 3 assignments are due June 7th, which is that Friday, and grades are usually, or assignments are due by midnight, 11:59 p.m. on Friday. So you'll want to click each of these. This here is where you'll need to pick your fitness sponsor. I'm not going to go through every assignment, but this one here is very important because you will need to have completed this in order to unlock other assignments later on. So here, if you click on here, you will see a set of instructions on what to do in order to select and submit your fitness sponsor's information. Very briefly, it can be a parent, coach, teacher, etc. Needs to be an adult. And you have to be able to take a photo of that person. They have to be holding a piece of paper with their name on it, a signature, and they'll basically be verifying that you have completed a couple different assignments. So when we get to the FitnessGram and the activity log, you will need to include their signature on those documents stating that they have essentially verified that you have completed that work. Okay, and then click on point 0.2, and then 0.3 is a forum post. Be very careful here. Read the instructions carefully. I have posted a pledge for students, and you will need to copy and paste or retype that pledge word for word into a reply. But you're going to have to include other information in parentheses, which I think I've laid it out fairly well. But just don't simply copy and paste it, or you won't get full credit. Just one thing to note, you'll notice that there's this blue check here in these boxes. The blue checks can be a little glitchy, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. So this is not a good way to manage or to monitor your progress in the course. So I'd say disregard the blue checks. They don't have a lot of meaning to them. The most important thing to remember if you want to see where you are in the course is to go to grades. Okay. Now I'm not going to click on that because I'm going to have grades. Well, there's no grades in there now, but I will have student information there for every student because I have a teacher view, obviously. So all students in the class will be there for me. But when you click on it, you'll just see your name and your grade for each assignment that's graded that you have submitted. Okay. And so what I recommend is usually how I work is I try to grade every day during my office hours, Monday through Friday. I usually get caught sometimes, and I wish I do, but usually I'll have the grade book fully updated sometime Sunday. And so you may want to get in the habit of on Monday or something, logging in, maybe Sunday evening, kind of later in the day, logging in and seeing the updates there. But that's where you'll go to see where your grade is. So go there if you want to know where you stand. Like I said, I recommend that Sunday night or Monday early in the week to kind of see if you're curious as to where you stand in the course. But that's how you'll do that. And then you'll just move on to Unit 1 from there. And I want to point out one other thing. So you'll see here that it says restricted, not available unless any of, and these conditions have to be met. So I just want to point this out, that in order for you to get access to 1.2 and 1.3 and 1.4, notice what's here in this highlighted section. To get access to 1.4, just use that as an example because that's something that you will submit to me and I'll have to grade that. But in order to open 1.4, you have to have completed 1.3. So that means you have had to gone through this assignment and go all the way through to the end. The blue check may or may not appear, but either way, if you complete it, then you'll get access to 1.4. So you have to click each one to get access to the next one generally. Okay? And so, if you're trying to jump ahead, keep that in mind that you can't access something until you generally click the link before it or somewhere in that unit, because the information you need to know to complete 1.4 is contained within 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3, and so they kind of build, and so you'll need to click on each one and follow it through to the end, and then you can move on through the course. So I get a lot of students at the beginning are confused as to why they can't access something and they're looking for a code. So I honestly don't know what code to even give you. I don't have a code, and I don't know why it says code, but there must be a reason for it. I just don't have an explanation. But what I do know is that you have to click on there to get access, and that's how you get, I guess, the code. But you won't get a code. It'll just open automatically. It's the way it's set up. I may make some videos later on to describe some other particularly maybe challenging assignments that have given students in the past trouble. I've been teaching with Virtual SC now going on almost 4 years, 3.5 years now probably. And so by now I kind of know where students kind of trip up. But I will say, if you follow the instructions carefully and you go through and you don't get behind, I will say that the summer semester is 6 weeks shorter roughly than the fall and spring. And so, but it's the same amount of work. So being that you're out of school, you should have more time to dedicate to the course, and it will move very quickly. And it's easy to fall behind if you kind of take a week and you don't really get as much done, because there are some weeks where 2 units will be due in 1 week. Keep in mind that while you may have vacation plans and other holiday events and things like that, that the assignments are still due every Friday. And if you have some extenuating circumstance, please communicate with me before the issue or before the time that you'll be gone, and then we can work out some kind of arrangement or plan for you to get caught up or to not fall behind. Generally, it's best to complete work before you go. If you know you're going to be gone for the week of July 4th, and you're going to be away from the internet for several days, or you're going to a camp or anything like that, which is great. But try to do the work before you go, because if you wait till you get back, you could be as much as 2 weeks behind, and that could be 4 units of work, and that would be a lot of work and to get caught up. And so I would strongly encourage you to work ahead when you know that you're going to have gaps in your ability to log in and complete work. So again, enjoy the summer. I look forward to being your online virtual SC physical education instructor. Feel free to contact me via email or send me a message through the course anytime you're having a problem or you have a question. When we get closer to mid-July, towards the middle part of July, we will discuss the final exam. But I guess while I have you here, I'll just show you real quick. I don't know if I have it pulled up, but if you go back to the Virtual SC page and you click on Students and Final Exam Information, this will basically tell you everything you need to know about the final exam. And you will be taking them at your school, or you'll need to proctor it yourself using ProctorU, which is a home-based proctoring service. But that all information is here. I have very little information regarding the final exam, other than I know it's, I know the material, and I know there's about 50 questions, multiple choice, true and false, stuff like that. But the logistics are all based on your school's availability during a time frame, which is the end of July. And like I said, more specific information will come much later. I don't even know if the schools have those dates set yet, but they will, and that information will be shared probably sometime in the month of July after the holiday. And of course, if you have questions, please feel free to ask me.